Hello, my name is Amy Williams, and I'm the Review and Adoption Director in the Instructional Materials Division at the Texas Education Agency. During this video, you will learn more about the complete description and how to submit it. A complete description provides details about the components you intend to use for TEKS coverage. It helps us plan for the summer review and contains components that you will include in every package. So you need to carefully consider which components you include on your complete description and only include those that you will use to construct your correlations. The title, Complete Description, is a little misleading because a complete description does not actually provide a description of your product in the way you may expect. A complete description doesn't provide districts with information about your pricing or package options, nor does it include any details about the strengths and benefits of your program. Your complete description is directly related to your statement of intent to bid. The statement of intent to bid provides basic information at the program level. The complete description provides basic information at the component level. You will build each complete description from an approved statement of intent to bid. But you might have multiple complete descriptions attached to one statement of intent to bid because you must submit a separate complete description for each media format. When you attach multiple complete descriptions to one statement of intent to bid and the content in those components listed on the complete descriptions is identical, you will need to link the complete descriptions to one another. I've clipped the media format selections from two approved statements of intent to bid. For Product A, the publisher selected both print and online, which means that districts will have a choice between a print version and an online version of the product when ordering. So we would expect to see two complete descriptions, one for the print components and another for the online components. For Product B, the publisher selected online with print components. We would expect to see one complete description with both online and print components. To show you this in another way, here is Product A, where the publisher selected print and online. There is one complete description for the print version and another complete description for the online version. Here is Product B, where the publisher selected online with print, and there's only one complete description. Print and digital products must each comply with specific requirements. You must provide the following for all print student components and any pages in print teacher components that are intended for student use. A page count, which will be used to develop the request for proposals for creation of accessible versions of adopted materials. NIMAS files, which will be used to convert the print student pages into accessible formats. And certification that those print materials comply with the standards found in the Manufacturing Standards and Specifications for Textbooks, or MSST. So, if you have print student components, it would be a good idea to purchase a copy of the MSST now. The requirements for digital products apply to all digital components, not just those intended for student use. Correlations must be embedded, which means users must be able to access the correlations within the digital platform. You must be able to generate hyperlinks that will link to the specific content you cite on your correlations and will include those links on your correlation document. All digital components need to comply with the technical standards of Section 508 of the Federal Rehabilitation Act and Level AA of the WCAG 2.0. You will demonstrate compliance through a third-party audit. And you must incorporate the machine-readable TEKS. Now we will get into the specifics of submitting a complete description. First, you need to make sure you have the following information about each component you plan to include on your complete description, which includes title and author, a unique component ISBN, which we'll speak more about in a moment, the media format of the individual component, such as print, digital, or online, whether or not the component is a consumable, the component's copyright year, the product type like book or workbook, who is expected to use the component or item type, the price of the component. For print components, we'll need the page count. And for digital or online components, we'll need the system requirements. You don't need to worry if some of the information you're asked to provide is not yet set in stone. You'll be given an opportunity to update it when you add these components to your official bids in the fall. You also don't need to worry if you do not yet have EMAT access, because you'll be able to submit your complete descriptions without it. I know I already said that you need to have unique ISBNs, but this is such an important issue that I need to make sure we're all on the same page. I'm sure most of you already know that ISBN stands for International Standard Book Numbers. Each edition and variation of a book must have a different ISBN. For example, the same material offered as an ebook, paperback, and a hardcover book would each have a different ISBN. You get ISBNs from the ISBN registration agency responsible for your country or territory. In the United States, you get ISBNs from R.R. Bowker. Our online ordering system, which is called EMAT, creates what we call an item for each ISBN. So each time the system sees a specific ISBN, that number is associated with a specific data set. You must use a unique ISBN for each component, and you also need a unique ISBN for each program, which means you cannot have the same ISBN for a program that you have already used for a component. Although you don't need to worry about all the different ways you intend to sell your product in EMAT for the purposes of your complete description, you do need to start thinking about ISBNs because each different purchasing option needs a different ISBN. For example, a 1-year subscription would have a different ISBN than an 8-year subscription, and a package that has a print, student, and teacher edition and a consumable workbook would have a different ISBN than a package that has all of those things plus access to a digital student edition. Now this only applies to publishers with currently adopted materials. You can only reuse an ISBN that was used in a previous proclamation if 100% of the information is still the same for that ISBN. I mentioned earlier that you don't have to have EMAT access in order to submit your complete descriptions, but if you do have access, you will submit your complete description by clicking the SOITB/complete description link on your vendor start page. If you do not have EMAT access, you just need to go to the publisher portal and find the section called EMAT Login, and then use the link for publishers who do not have EMAT access. For those of you who are entering your complete description without an EMAT login, you'll be directed to the Publisher Bid Start page where you'll select the proclamation year from the drop-down box and then click the magnifying glass to find your name. And I'm going to pick Texas Education Agency just for the purposes of this example. For those of you who already have an EMAT login and are going through your vendor start page, you'll do this step as soon as you click on the link. Once you've done this, you click Continue to Statement of Intent to Bid, and you should see there a list of your statements of intent to bid. So to submit your complete description, you'll just click the arrow to the left of the word Complete Description and say Add New Complete Description. If you want to see a list of the complete descriptions you've already added that are associated to a statement of intent to bid, then you would click Complete Description List. So I'm going to click Add New Complete Description. And let's get our screen right. From here, you'll see all of the fields that I talked about. So you've got the title of your program, which you entered on your statement of intent to bid. The class type student means that it will be ordered by the number of students who need it. So that's not super important at this point, but you do have to make a selection. The estimated TEKS coverage percentage, the copyright year, the media format of the program overall. So I'm going to select print, the ISBN for the program, and I am just going to make one up there. Since I do have a print program, I need to put the estimated number of pages in the entire program for all of my student components. This is the first edition. You can see that my system requirements came over from my statement of intent to bid. And since this is my first complete description, I'm going to skip over that part. And then I'm just going to enter some really basic information. This is not how I want you to do it, of course, because I need you to be more thoughtful when you make your complete descriptions. This is going to be my print. It's not a consumable. Product type is going to be textbook. My item type is student component. And this is going to be my only student component on this complete description, and I'm going to just use that 456 pages. And I'm going to say that this sells for $59.99. Since this is not a digital component, I don't have to enter system requirements. I'm just going to type none. And then if I want to add another component, like say the teacher component, I would just click add component, and then I'm going to put in the information there. Once I've entered in all the information, I would click submit. Now I'm going to go back to that part that I asked you to skip over. If this were my second complete description and I wanted to let TEA know that I've entered 2 complete descriptions for the same statement of intent to bid in 2 different media formats, but the content in the 2 different versions is the same, so that when I do my correlations, I'm only going to need really one set of correlations because the content's the same, then I would link those 2 complete descriptions together. So if this were my online complete description and I had finished my print one, I would hit this search button and it would pull up my previously entered complete description ID. I would select it and it would add it to this box here. Then you just need to certify that the content in those 2 complete descriptions that you will use to demonstrate TEKS coverage is identical. So that's an extra step that those of you who are submitting multiple complete descriptions for one statement of intent to bid will need to take if the content is identical. As always, we're only a click or phone call away, so if you have any questions, feel free to send those to review.adoption@tea.texas.gov or directly to your publisher liaison, or you can call us at 512-463-9601. Thank you so much for your time.